Previously.
Get that mutt out of my house.
Damn it, not again.
If a dog attacked a police officer on Sulani, it would be put to sleep.
You're the owner of a very dangerous dog. We're here for bitch.
I'm really looking forward to our camping trip to Crumbling Isle.
Audrey may not have died after all. Maybe the fairies took her to their realm, and the woman I saw in the old town was indeed her.
Would you like to see the new High Witch of Time manipulation blow up your last remaining sanctuary?
When the High Witch cast her devastating spell, she committed a crime against nature that even reality itself couldn't handle.
I curse you with power. A curse or a blessing. It's up to you to figure that out.
What have you done?
I fulfilled your wish. You seem to have a lot of fun gloating over your power to destroy the last remnant of the Sylvan realm, but you were overestimating yourself. Being able to freeze or rewind time for individual people or events does not make you strong enough to destroy an entire realm. Well, now you do have that power. How you choose to use it is your business.
Wait. What? No.
A curse or a blessing. It's up to you to figure that out.
Do you remember what just happened?
You already abused your new power, didn't you? Let me guess. You froze time in an attempt to stop me from leaving, and it blew up in your face. Did it hurt?
Why is my power causing that much destruction?
Because time manipulation is the most destructive of all the 13 branches of magic. It is pure evil. Stopping time is like throwing a heavy rock into a raging river. The water will keep flowing, but it will break and bend to avoid the obstacle, causing splashes that wouldn't have occurred otherwise. One can only imagine what happens when time does the same thing. Or you can stop time again and see for yourself. From now on, you're going to think twice about it, though.
You're going to regret this.
Maybe, but not as much as you. How did I get here?
David? Is that you?
Why do you ask? Did you do something to me again?
No.
Leave me alone already.
You can't just decide to put her down. She's my dog.
Your dog bit me in the leg.
So? I don't see you limping, so it can't be that bad. Sure, you weren't kicked in the head instead? But even that must have been someone else, because bitch doesn't attack people without my permission. She literally can't.
She obviously could, and she did. Or is her requiring your permission a witch thing you'd like to explain to the public?
What public? There isn't even a judge. Does the mayor know about this? You're one of her adopted sons, aren't you?
It depends.
But of course you are. I remember you, and your co-star in the mayor's porn movie who looks like your identical twin, yet you keep insisting that you're not related. You two had a threesome with Tiamo at my father's house.
I can neither confirm nor deny this accusation. It is not relevant to the case at hand.
Jesus Christ. Is there anybody in this town that has not yet been blessed by your slutty son's dick?
Your wife. But if the only way you can get it up is by mistreating other people's pets, it's only a matter of time until she'll start looking for a real man.
How dare you?
Where is Holy Mary of Newcrest anyway? How do you know she's not losing her virginity to a person with a dick as we speak? Like, I don't know, the new priest?
Julian, get the mutt ready for her execution. The sooner we get it over with, the better.
Over my dead body.
Time manipulation is the most destructive of all the 13 branches of magic. It is pure evil.
But you're wrong. Nothing is evil by nature. What people choose to do with it is a different story. I tried to prevent an accident by stopping time for that car. Instead, I ended up rewinding time and causing a different accident. But it wasn't my intention. I didn't even know I could do that.
Hey. What's wrong?
I'm fine.
Are you sure? You seem distracted.
I am distracted by this interesting news.
Today, on October 1st, the residents of Crumbling Isle are coming together to celebrate their Harvest Moon Festival.
I believe that's the one my brother is attending.
My sister and her fellow Christian housewives are on their way to Crumbling Isle too. I wonder if that's why they wanted to go on their camping trip today.
Traditionally, the so-called harvest moon is the full moon closest to the autumnal equinox, which usually falls on a day in September. This year, however, due to the first full moon in autumn being as early as September 2nd, we are facing a rare case of... Oh. We interrupt this report about the festival on Crumbling Isle for breaking news from another district of Windenburg. It seems that the police station is under attack.
What the fuck?
A witness who came running out of the building just a few minutes ago described the aggressor as an elderly woman threatening a police officer with a weapon that looks like a magic wand, following an escalating argument over the woman's dog being euthanized.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that sound a lot like your mother and familiar?
Too much to be a coincidence. And you bet your ass the police officer in question is your brother-in-law.
Okay, we have officially arrived on Crumbling Isle. Where to next?
How about a fireplace? Autumn is much colder here than I'm used to.
Well, I told you so, and that you should put on some warm clothing, but do you ever listen?
I don't even own any warm clothing.
Which means another trip to the store is in order.
Or a trip back to Sulani.
We'll see if we can get you anything at the festival. If we ever find it. Some signposting would be nice.
Why would the residents need that? Didn't you say they live rather secluded on their island? They probably know where to go when there's a festival, and don't necessarily expect visitors from the other districts. That's what my home was like before it got turned into a tourist hotspot.
But this is not Sulani. Come on, move around a little, you'll warm up in no time.
Let my familiar go before I die of laughter. Yes, that is really a thing, and I'm having way too much fun here.
Stop it.
Why? I recall you asking me several times to give you a reason to arrest me. I've given you several. Now the question is, can you actually arrest me, or was it yet another empty threat?
If I can't, someone else will. You're surrounded by cops and provoking them to lock you up forever just because of some savage mutt. Have you lost your mind?
First of all, I believe I'm surrounded by garden gnomes, not cops. Secondly, what you call a savage mutt is a family member to me, and this is what happens when you threaten my family.
I'm sorry, but civilians aren't allowed in the building at the moment. We're having a situation.
And quite a serious one at that. A news report said something about an attack on the police station.
That report is greatly exaggerated and shouldn't have gone public in the first place. Everything is under control. Still, no one enters or leaves until the situation has been dealt with.
What are you waiting for? Freeze him.
I can't.
Why not?
I'm having a bad day with my power, so to speak. If I try to stop time now, it might cause some unwanted side effects.
Like what?
Something much worse than Aaron finally getting what's been coming to him for years. Perhaps we should just wait it out. Aya is not really going to start a war with the police over this, is she?
You don't know my mother very well. Hey Julian. Or are you Yannick? Never mind. Tell me, how does a former porn star become a cop? Especially given your incestuous relationship with your twin brother, isn't that illegal?
What's happening?
Come, bitch. We're going home.
Hey. If you're releasing prisoners, could you release me too? They've been keeping me here for days, but I've done nothing wrong.
You? I think I saw you at Dantalion de Plantier in SetsunaMaiou's birthday party. Who are you again?
Noel Frost. I'm
the serial killer, right? Finally I can put a face to the name. But no thanks, I'm not going to save my familiar from the police just so she can be killed by you afterwards.
But surely you could use some magical assistance in getting out of here?
I can handle those few garden gnome officers myself, thank you very much.
Behind you.
Fuck. Mum.
No. I can't let that happen.
curse or a blessing. It's up to you to figure that out.
Laugh while you can. If my power is so strong now that I can rewind an entire day, what stops me from retroactively preventing you from cursing me in the first place?
You can't use your new powers to rewind past the point in time where you got them. That would create a paradox, as a brilliant astrophysicist like you should now. Unless you're not really as smart as you present yourself, but just an overconfident bitch.
Bitch. I have to stop her execution.
Hey Elise, aren't you coming in today?
Wilbica, listen. Your familiar is in trouble for attacking my brother-in-law. He's planning on having her euthanized, and if your mother gets involved, all hell will break loose.
You mean bitch? But
we don't have much time, so just do as I say for now and ask questions later, alright? Aaron was able to accelerate the process because he's a cop, but by law, every pet's death sentence
must go through the mayor's office first. You're friends with my mother, so if you explain the situation to her, I'm sure she'll spare your dog. Just please, stop talking about that damn porn movie, okay?
I'll do what I can. Thanks for the warning.
One problem solved. What could go wrong now?
Hard to believe I've been living in Windenburg for so long and never attended the Harvest Moon Festival before. I liked it. It was a very spiritual experience.
One we couldn't have had without Evelyn's brilliant idea to come here on this very day.
Thank my sister. She made it possible by talking to her old friend Rue, who owns the ground we're camping on.
Have you seen who else was there though? I could hardly believe my eyes. Tiamo Mammini.
Yes, Jane, I saw him. And I saw you follow him into the bushes. Did you at least have a nice conversation while you were watching him pee, or whatever he was doing there, and does your husband know?
What? I never followed him anywhere. Do you think I would have returned without at least an autograph if I had actually talked to him?
The festival is still ongoing. We could go back and get you that autograph now.
I want one too, preferably on my copy of the book he won an award for earlier this year. I really liked it.
69 Shades of Midnight. Really, Steph? That's about vampires having SM orgies, not exactly the most Christian literature.
Yet still, you know the plot, June, so maybe Steph isn't the only one here who read it.
What if I told you that you can get an autograph whenever you want, provided you're nice to Evelyn, because she's friends with the Mamminis?
Really? You never told us.
Well, I wouldn't say we're friends, but…
Hush. Did you hear that? What was that?
Probably just a wild rabbit.
Can rabbits get rabies around here?
I'd rather not find out firsthand.
It's probably nothing to worry about, but if it makes you feel safer, I'll go and check.
Be careful, Reverend.
If he comes back without his head, we call for help.
Great plan, Steph. Except he won't be going anywhere without his head, so if that happens, we won't know until we find the body.
Why do you take everything so literally, June?
That's a rather big rabbit.
And now the news. After preventing the unjust execution of a dog earlier today, Mayor Von Hinton, an owner of several cats herself, called a press conference to voice her dissatisfaction with the treatment of pets by the Windenburg police.
Euthanizing a pet is acceptable only when said pet is terminally ill and in pain, or has been identified as a dangerous specimen. And even in the latter case, a proper trial beforehand is mandatory. Euthanizing a pet for no reason other than a personal feud, however, is a crime and must be treated as such. It saddens me to think that not even the police, the enforcers of our law, are above such petty behavior, but such an event shall not repeat itself for as long as I am in the office.
Ha! Take that, Aaron.
We interrupt this report for breaking news from another district of Windenburg. It seems that the Harvest Moon Festival on Crumbling Isle is under attack.
What the fuck?
Witnesses who fled from the festival describe the aggressor as a hairy humanoid being with sharp teeth and claws that has already killed several people.
What is wrong with the world today? Evelyn, I just saw the report.
Help us please, I don't know what to do.
Where are you?
Still on Crumbling Isle, with Steph Rivers. It's just the two of us now. June, Jane and Jenny are dead, killed by that thing, and we don't know where Reverend Kaylani is.
Okay, try to hide and stay calm. I'm coming as fast as I can.
A curse or a blessing. It's up to you
To figure that out. Yes, I know. Stop wasting my time.
I'm not going to save my familia from the police just so she can be killed by you afterwards.
But surely you could use some magical assistance in getting out of here?
I can handle those few garden gnome officers myself, thank you very much.
That won't be necessary. Pets can't be executed without the mayor's permission, so I called her to make sure that doesn't happen to bitch.
Wow. Thanks, Elise. But how did you even?
Doesn't matter. I helped you, now you have to help me. It's about the Harvest Moon Festival on Crumbling Isle.
That's where my son is.
And my sister. And it's going to get attacked by a hairy humanoid being with sharp teeth and claws tonight.
Harvest Moon Festival? That means it's a full moon.
By definition, yes. So?
I'm just saying, that thing you're describing sounds like a werewolf to me. Witches have tried and failed many times to use them as familiars because they're strong but not easy to control. And they definitely shouldn't be here in Windenburg.
What else do you know about them?
I'll gladly tell you everything. But first, get me out of this cell.
Done already? That was a short evening snack. And you complain about me coming too quickly.
No, Lev, that evening snack was a literal snack, as in, she was kind enough to give me some of her blood, nothing else.
You mean she was kind enough to not put up a fight after you hypnotized her?
I didn't even have to. She's quite the fan, so it probably sucks for her that she won't remember our encounter.
Either way, you're clearly enjoying yourself. I would too, if the air wasn't so dry.
Don't you dare. You complained about being cold before. Do you think you'll be warmer if you make it rain now?
No, but watching all these people freak out in unison because everybody in this part of the world seems to be allergic to water would certainly make this festival more fun. Or do you have a better idea?
Looks like someone else just had one.
We don't care where you come from, or where else you have been.
If you're a man, or a woman, or anything in between.
About your sexual orientation, or the color of your skin.
Whether you've been good and pious, or wallowing in sin.
For the Evil Alliance, be what you want to be.
Cause we hate everyone, equally.
That's Mischief, isn't it? And her partner in crime, Mysterious.
Alright fuckers, playtime is over. The Harvest Moon Festival is now the Mischief Festival. Bow down and pledge allegiance to the Evil Alliance, or else.
Or else what?
Or else you shall feel the power of the Evil Alliance's ultimate weapon, bugs. Their bites will make you age prematurely, mess up your wants and fears, and every patch you put on your wounds will only make them worse. Yes, go. Go home and bar all windows and doors, or leave the island altogether. That's your only chance of survival.
We can't just look away and allow this to happen. We have to stand up to this criminal.
Your badass attitude does you credit, Christian housewife number 5, but it won't help you against a giant hairy beast. You should go, all of you.
What are you doing here?
Saving your ass.
Oh my god. She said ass.
I still didn't get a chance to talk to Aunt Jane. Or ask the fairies about her.
That's the next point on my agenda, I promise. But first we have to save her and everybody else from... well, that.
Mum, what's going on?
Get behind me.
Avoid eye contact, and don't let it howl. There might be others in the vicinity.
Let's silence it then.
Forget it. During a full moon, a werewolf becomes a slave to its own instincts, and no outside influence, not even mind control, can interfere with that.
Grande, load the silver bullet.
Be careful not to get bitten. Even if you survive, you'll get infected and eventually turn into werewolves yourselves.
Yeah, thanks for teaching us common knowledge, Captain Obvious.
Is it over?
For tonight at least, assuming there aren't more of them around. Werewolves hate silver, it can knock them out for hours. It's a miracle that this one was still able to run away, but it won't get up to any more mischief until the next full moon.
The annual Harvest Moon Festival on Crumbling Isle was unfortunately cut short by the unexpected appearance of Mischief, Windenburg's most infamous criminal, forced visitors to leave by threatening to release dangerous bugs cultivated by her organization, Evil Alliance, or EA for short. Why she decided to attack a random festival full of innocent people just trying to have a good time is currently unknown, but it seems to be a confusing trend with EA to focus on small, comparatively unimportant scenarios.
Thank God you found us in time, Elise. But I'm still wondering about that giant hairy beast you mentioned. You couldn't have meant Mischief, right?
No, a werewolf living on the island.
Goodness, I hope your brother is okay, Wilbica.
Tiamo left the island around the same time as you. It's a shame I wasn't there. I've heard a lot about werewolves, but never actually seen one.
I'd say consider yourself lucky. Those beasts aren't to be trifled with.
How did you even know it was going to attack the festival?
It's, a small perk that comes with my power. Stopping time, changing the past, seeing the future, all part of the deal. But I don't need any of that magic to read the clock. Lunch break is almost over, you should go to your next classes.
Yeah, too bad you can't freeze time as a whole, so we'll never be late for class again.
Too bad I can. But I won't.
Pardon?
Nothing. Let's go.